My first 70 days on YouTube, the brutal truth. I spent 2 years coaching other creators professionally, so I know the rules and I know the algorithm, but I'm 59 years old, 70 days into this channel, and I have 26 subscribers. Today I'm showing you the data I'm actually embarrassed to share and why I keep going despite the cringe. But first, you need to know where I'm coming from because it's a knife twist that other older creators on this platform can probably relate to. Okay, I coached over 300 creators at a very well-known analytics company. Different niches, different sizes. My sweet spot was the 3,000 to 30,000 subscriber range, getting those creators unstuck, past the plateau, and moving again. And I was good at it. I had one of the highest retention levels on our team with 99% 5-star reviews. I loved this work because there is nothing like giving another creator clarity when all seems muddled. So you'd think that starting my own channel would be easy. 70 days, 26 subscribers, 1,478 views. Some videos sitting at a whopping 17 views. When I release a new video, I might get 1 view per hour for the first few hours, super slow. In the first 24 hours, I might get 15 views. This week's video had 16 views and a 0.9% CTR at one point. Ouch. I know exactly what these numbers mean, and yeah, that's the humiliating part because there's someone else who started at about the same time I did in my same niche, and she's killing it. Already past 3,500 subscribers. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but let me show you how I got here so you can see just how different creator paths can be. Okay, I talked to Ask Studio for months before I posted anything, starting around February, when the tool had gotten genuinely useful after a pretty slow start when it was introduced last summer. I was testing it on my other channels, learning what it could do, but still I kept putting off starting this channel. If I'm honest, it was probably that fear of betting on myself, you know, looking stupid, being cringe, getting hate comments. That's probably its own video. What broke the paralysis was a 14-day shorts challenge that Pat Flynn was running. Thanks, Pat. Even though I'm not a shorts person, I did it anyway because it forced me to get going and do the reps. Every day, I'd shoot, edit, post, talk to Ask Studio about what happened, gain whatever insight there was, and apply it the next day. Were those videos cringy? Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're still out there if you want to go watch and see just how cringy they are. But at the end of 14 days, I had 14 videos and enough data for the algorithm to start figuring out who I was and who I might connect with as a creator. Then I moved into long form, which is the heart and soul of YouTube. That's where the know, like, and trust factor actually builds for a business like mine on a channel like this. And long form has been slow. 5 views, 10 views, 12 views. It's so painful. But the baseline is rising bit by bit. Those are the pine needles igniting in my YouTube campfire. Wait, Diane, fire? What are you talking about? I have used this analogy with creators for years. Building a YouTube channel is like building a campfire. You start with a match and some rolled up paper, and you add pine needles and a little teepee over the top, and then some small sticks. You light it, it catches for a second, then the wind blows it out. You light it again. This time, maybe it holds, but just barely, and you're crouched over it, feeding it these little tiny sticks one at a time, trying not to breathe wrong. That's your first 70 days on YouTube. You have to fuss over this thing to keep it alive. Gradually, as you nurture it, the sticks get bigger as the heat builds up inside the fire itself, and eventually you can put an actual log on there and walk away for a minute or two without the whole thing dying because there's momentum in the fire itself now, not just your effort. Remember that other creator I mentioned in the beginning, the one who's blowing up in my niche right out of the gate? She showed up to her campfire with a flamethrower that very few other creators possess. And it was just the leverage that she needed to get her fire going faster. So what is this flamethrower and how do I get one? So this creator started her channel around the same time I did, and she's already at 3,500 plus subscribers. But her backstory is different from mine. She's coming off a 500,000 subscriber channel that she started in 2007 in another niche. That's the flamethrower. And she's totally upfront about that, acknowledging that muscle memory gives her an unfair advantage that other creators don't have. She knows it, I know it, but I still couldn't help myself. I kept looking at her numbers and looking at mine, asking, what's wrong with me? Which is the exact thing I told every single one of my clients to never do. I have coached creators through this comparison spiral more times than I can count. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I kept doing it anyway. What snapped me out of it was realizing her 500K channel isn't just a credential. It means she already knows what content clicks, how to read her audience, how to show up on camera without second guessing every single word. That's not a shortcut. That's 15 years of reps I haven't done in this niche. And honestly, a fast start comes with additional pressure that I don't have right now. Expectations, hundreds of comments. I'm still figuring out who this channel is for, and slow growth gives me the room to do that without a huge audience watching me get it wrong at scale. Okay, I'm not totally over the comparison thing, but I'm getting there. And I am seeing some under the radar micro success in just this past week, things you might want to look for if you're feeling stuck on YouTube right now. A few weeks into this channel, I noticed something. My baseline views were creeping up. So on YouTube, 35 views is the median for everything uploaded on the platform. Long form, shorts, lives, all of it. If you're above 35, you're in the top half of all content on the platform. And almost all of my long form videos had crossed over that line. I took that observation to Ask Studio, YouTube's built-in AI tool, and asked it what it was seeing. And it came back with growth indicators that I hadn't quantified. Impressions floor rising, search indexing kicking in, returning viewer percentage climbing. Now, as a coach, I do this for creators all the time, showing them what's actually working when they're too close to the view count to see it themselves. Ask Studio did that for me. Just don't forget, it's AI designed to keep creators on the platform, so take the cheerleading with a grain of salt, but the data it pointed to was real. And I know from 300 plus creators that these are the signals that matter before the views catch up. But knowing this intellectually and pushing through the cringe in public are two separate things. So how do you get past feeling like a fake when almost nobody's watching? Seriously, who's going to take YouTube advice from a channel with 26 subscribers? That thought lives in my head. I know it's not rational. Every channel starts at zero, including the ones I helped grow. But knowing that doesn't make the feeling go away. It's there and it's going to be there for a while. So I just have to sit with it and know that it's temporary and push through anyway. What I always come back to is this. It's not about me. It's about you. How can I help you, the viewer? I just need to keep focusing on you, the audience who finds me, and give you something you need to help you reach your YouTube goals. So I'm not quitting because I've seen how this works. I've coached creators through this exact phase, that phase where nothing seems to be happening, and the only thing keeping you going is knowing that something is. I know the water is down there. I just have to keep pumping. If you're in the same place I am, early days, low numbers, wondering if any of this is working, I'll show you exactly the signs to look for in this video here.